Back in 2020, I discovered trading, earning multiple 5 figures every month. And it's gonna be the most easy business that you could pick in this world. I invested like 30, 40, 50 hours per week just backtesting, just practicing on a demo account, learning everything that you can imagine of that you could learn about the charts in the market. But the more I learned, the less able I was to make profits in the markets. When I had the first funded account, no payout. Losing streak when starting out. This funded account was gone 3 weeks later again. 6 months later, I already had 250k funded. There are a lot of profitable strategies, being ready to bought in the course and being ready to getting it back out there. But it's not 100% the strategy which will determine if a trader is profitable or not. But with ThinkCapital, I don't have any ounce of doubt that I will receive my next payout.
Hey, Matthias. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you. Matthias is a funded trader of ours who's been trading with us for... How long have you been trading with us?
I'm funded with your firm since 1.5 months. Yeah.
1.5 months. All right, quite a while. And in those 1.5 months, have you managed to request many payouts?
I'm currently about to request my second payout. I received my first payout at the beginning of September, and yeah, I had 2 more weeks of trading activity since that recent payout. I've done for my personal goals pretty well. I'm trading on a 100k funded account. I'm currently sitting at 5.5k profits, which I am about to withdraw later next week. Until now, it's rolling pretty fine for me.
Yeah, that's a full-time salary, if not more than a full-time salary. So do you work any other job on the side, or are you just in trading?
No, I'm a full-time funded trader.
And where are you based?
I'm based in Austria.
Austria. All right, cool. I've never been myself, but I've been a lot of other places in Europe. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your background in trading, how you first got into it, how long that was, how long it maybe took you to actually get profitable? Because I know it takes some years in some cases.
Most definitely. Okay, I'm gonna tell you my story from the very beginning, which was back in 2020. It was the COVID pandemic, locked in at home, as everyone was probably. I always was naturally interested in how to make money online, how to escape the so-called 9-to-5 rat race. So yeah, tried a couple of things before, multi-level marketing and stuff like that. So yeah, specifically day trading for myself. And I got intrigued to it very strong from the very beginning, since I was naturally good with numbers my whole life. And I thought, okay, day trading seems to be about recognizing patterns and doing numbers and knowing how to interpret numbers in the right way. So that should probably be my way to go. And it also seems to be like an easy way to earn lots of money for doing 2 hours work per day. That's how trading is advertised in social media nowadays.
Yeah.
So naturally, I was young. I was also kind of dumb and naive. So I 100% believed this story. Yeah, starting out, being convinced that it will take me only a year to be, I don't know, earning multiple 5 figures every month. And it's gonna be the most easy business that you could pick in this world. I started out pretty confident, started on a demo account, bought a course online, pretty much the average way like everyone would do when he's starting out in the beginning with trading. Yeah, how was it going then? I started on a demo account, 10,000 USD. And I thought, let's demonstrate the profitability of the system, of the strategy I purchased for 3 months. And after that, get into trading live and just make money, you know? Very cool vision, but very difficult to replicate in the real markets, to put it mildly. What happened then was this. I had some minor successes in the very beginning, but the more I learned, the less able I was to make profits in the markets. Even trading on a demo account, I had some minor successes, but overall, my equity dropped lower and lower. And after half a year of trading the demo account, it was almost vanished. So 10k USD to start out and below 5k after half a year. So yeah, that was the first kind of punch into the face and getting back to the reality, to the very hard reality of trading, it's not that easy as you would think in the very beginning. So what are you going to do then? Well, you purchase another course. You just pick the wrong strategy, right? Just purchase another course, adapt another strategy which is more profitable than the original one, and you will be good making money, right? Well, good plan, but again, that strategy failed as well. So I get eager to learn about the markets. I invested like 30, 40, 50 hours per week just backtesting, just practicing on a demo account, learning everything that you can imagine of that you could learn about the charts and the markets. But what happened then, the more I learned, the less capable I was of trading profitable. So I naturally thought, well, if I acquire lots of knowledge, I should be able to execute better trades and therefore earn more money, right? For some reason, that just wasn't the case. The more I learned, the less profits I made. And it was just confusing to me because you would think, why is that? Why can that be? You know so much, you know more and more day by day, but you're making less profits, even on the demo account. I wasn't even trading on a real account back then. So I was in the game for one year, 1.5 years. And that was the time where I really grew frustrated because it didn't make sense to me. Why can I not get profits even though I invest this much time? Another half year passed, learning more and more, practicing, really being dedicated to the charts, but somehow not being able to get profits. I had some friends of mine being in the same industry, also trying to make their best out of trading. They even invested less time than me, but achieved better results than me. That was even more frustrating to myself because I just couldn't believe what was happening back then. So that was the time, 2 years into the game, 2 years really investing my blood, sweat, and energy just into trading. That was the time where I thought, is this really worth it? For some reason, I had a wrong idea of what would trading be on an average day, right? So maybe that's just not my business. Maybe my mind isn't wired in a certain way to analyze the markets. So I was considering throwing in a towel, to be honest. That was back then in 2022. But I decided for myself that I'm not a quitter. I will give it one more shot. I will almost switch every variable that you could switch in a trading system. So I was learning scalping strategies at first. When I decided to switch and scramble up everything one last time, I decided that I'm gonna get rid of scalping and I will be a day trader from now. So longer holding periods, less trades, and sometimes also less chart time. Because what I discovered later on, scalping just didn't fit my personality. Everything is starting out in trading and being like, okay, I'm gonna be a scalper because you have way more trades and lots of trades equal lots of money, right? Well, that's the wrong conclusion. Just a little spoiler for everyone who is starting out. So I got into day trading, got one less time another strategy, and I did the math up front. And I said to myself, well, let's see what will happen. There's no pressure anymore. This is just, let's try one more time. And then the magic happened. When I get rid of scalping and get into day trading, also being more reliant on like the basics, like market structure, trend, liquidity, I just realized I'm focusing on way too many things. I'm looking at 10 pairs simultaneously. I look at 10 confluences to enter a trade. So I realized sometimes less is more. So I naturally didn't get overcomplicated deciding which pair, which setup, which trade. And that's when it was almost like a key moment for me. My results got better, way better. I was less stressed sitting at the charts and trying to force making money. Then I decided to get into prop trading. So at first I thought it would be just a live account. Later on, I'm so glad for that. I discovered that there's also like for young guys like me who doesn't have like 100,000 in a bank that you could put in a personal live account. There is the best option for any beginner, for any young beginner out there, which is prop trading. Why is it so powerful? Well, you have the option of trading way more capital that you would be able to trade on your own with your savings, just by paying a small fee upfront. So back in 2020, end of 2022, I bought my first challenges. Well, the first 5 I wasted, gotta be honest with you. It wasn't that easy as you imagine. So it took me a couple of attempts to get the first account funded. And even then, when I had the first funded account, no payout. Losing streak when starting out. So this funded account was gone 3 weeks later again. So it was just a hard way, full of rocks, full of hard things to overcome. But I had this fire in me. I knew that I would make it eventually. And even if it takes me some more months and some more attempts to get funded, I will be able to manage this. So I was convinced I can do it. I can make a living of trading. At that time, I wasn't full-time trading. I had a part-time job at the side for me to, because I simply needed money. So I was treating trading not as a side hustle. My side hustle was my part-time job. I was treating trading like I'm just getting started. I will build up ThinkCapital. And after I will reach this goal, I will be able to quit my job as well, my 9-to-5 job. And starting out slowly, being funded 50K, then getting another account funded, having my first payouts. Man, I remember it so vividly. That was the best moment of my life, honestly. It was just a confirmation. Hey, trading, somehow it is possible. It's just a tough road until you're able to withdraw money and make money from it. So don't expect to withdraw money within the first months or even within the first year. That's not going to happen. So for me, the first penny came in after almost 3 years after I started up originally. So that, of course, fueled my confidence and my motivation again to crush this business and learn more, execute more, and getting better in every respect. So my funded capital increased. First, I had 50K, 100K, 200K. At the end of this year, 6 months later, I already had 250K funded. And with that amount of funded accounts, if you trade them disciplined properly and you're not like gambling through, you're able to make a decent amount of money per month. Maybe not enough to make a living from it. It depends on where you're based, what are your living costs. But for me, I knew I'm on the right way. I'm just now scaling up, getting more funded accounts, treating them the best I can, waiting for my A+ setups. I grew steadily, but in a perfect way. So I built up more funded accounts, reached half a million of funded accounts. And at that point of time, I knew I probably made it. I'm able to quit my 9-to-5 job. I can call myself now a full-time funded trader. And that's it. That's how it's rolling for me since over a year now. And been pretty happy that I choose this way and stick to it long enough.
No, that's great. It's really good to hear. I'm curious to know, so you said you purchased many different courses with different strategies. I want to know what changed. Was it, do you think it was the courses themselves, which were just giving you poor information, giving you poor strategies, or do you think it was yourself who wasn't, putting those into action the way you should?
That's a good question. And I'm glad you're bringing that up because that's a huge misconception of almost every trader out there. There are a lot of profitable strategies, being ready to bought in the course and being ready to getting it that out there. But it's not 100% the strategy which will determine if a trader is profitable or not. There are a lot of good approaches out there. You don't even have to pay, 5,000 USD for a advanced course, VIP coaching, blah, blah, blah. That's not necessary. But one component of trading is the strategy as well, and the approach, and the setups you're taking. But the other, and in my opinion, even more important component of a trader is the trader's mind. So not every strategy is fitting for every trader. I have friends, they are scalping. They are doing so well you can't imagine. For me, as I said before, scalping didn't work. But at the same time, those pro scalpers are not able to have good trading results if they were day trading or trading my approach. It's a combination of both. It's the strategy at the one hand and the trader's mind at the other hand. You have to pick a strategy and the approach which fits your personality and the wiring of your brain. Not every brain is able to scalp. Not every brain is able to day trade or swing trade or whatever. And that's a tough part of trading. You don't know it in the beginning. Like, you have to find it out yourself. You have to try it. You have to make guesses. Would I be that type of trader? Would I be that type of trader? Well, you got to find it out yourself. You got to go through a lot of trial and errors. And at the end of the day, if you stick long enough, you will discover your strategy. So what can I say as a conclusion for that? Don't rely strictly on your strategy. Get your emotions right. Get a system into place for your trading, which is very strict. So you have to be rigid in your approach and stick to your rules. Because if you're coming off, let's say, for example, off a big losing streak, it's naturally to approach next trade with fear. Well, you got to make the money back you lost the days before, right? Well, what will happen if you fail this trade as well? Will you be able to make that back? It's the state of mind which determines if you can trade profitable or not. And that's something you have to learn. You have to learn by spending time on the charts, getting trading experiences, and learn to trust your strategy. There's no strategy which can make profitable weeks the whole year. Every strategy has some good cycles and some bad cycles, even for me. And for every guru who's out there who is advertising a strategy with 90% win rate all year, that's not possible. They're simply lying to you. I'm telling you. But at the other hand, it's not necessary. If you have a strategy which can consistently produce a 55 or 60% win rate, you'll be fine at the end of the year. So don't look out for that magic strategy or for that magic indicator. It's an illusion. You're not going to find it. Consistency is in your mind and not in the markets or in the strategy.
Yeah, you need to keep it more realistic, right? I can see firsthand, I don't think anyone has a 90% success ratio in trading. I mean, perhaps there's a few, but you've been trading with us or been funded with us for a month and a half now. Which platform do you use? We offer, in Austria, we offer both MT5 and TradingView. So I'm just curious to know, are you with TradingView or ThinkTrader integration?
I usually like to stick to MetaTrader since I started out with that platform. But I saw when signing up at ThinkCapital that you're also offering the ThinkTraders platform. So I was getting curious and I was like, let's give it a shot. And to my surprise, I have to say, till this day, I am pretty happy with choosing that option since it's easy. You have all the things you need and you can also use it in a browser. So you don't even have to install a MetaTrader if you're don't like to do that. For anybody who is doubting that this platform will be as effective as the known ones like MetaTrader or TradingView, I can only say give it a shot. It's good. It's really fine for me personally.
So is it your first time experiencing a new platform then? Since you said you were traditionally using MT5 and now you've shifted to ThinkTrader with us. Have you used other platforms in the past or is this your first time kind of expanding your horizon?
Kinda. I try to stick to MetaTrader as best as I can because it's just, for me, the standard. But I was just open for new experiences. You know, in the past, I was forced to migrate a MetaTrader account to MatchTrader. I personally gotta say, MatchTrader, it's fine, but I would not prefer MatchTrader over MetaTrader or even over the ThinkCapital platform. So the ThinkCapital platform is easy. I think also easy for beginners, so it's not that complicated. But at the same time, you have everything you need also as an experienced trader. So guys, please just try it out.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate that. Thank you. What about tools? What sort of tools you use when you're trading, or any metrics or indicators that you refer to assist your strategy? Is it something you want to share anyway, or would you like to keep your...
I'm comfortable sharing. In the past, I tried lots of indicators, lots of tools, lots of different, very special, I don't know, let's find the key in the market tools. But you know what? I ended up trading with not a single indicator today. Because I had lots of indicators into place and I was like looking at 5 different signals at one time, So I naturally get confused. Which one do you rely more? So I discovered for me, it needs to be a kind of a simple system. So what I rely on is market structure. I also rely on liquidity. So looking out for fair value gaps, looking out for support, resistance, and important market structure points. But besides that, I don't use any special indicator. For a lot of guys, they need an indicator, which is giving their system or them the edge. But for me personally, I'm doing well without any indicator.
Cool. That's actually quite rare. I know that most traders I've spoken to
Yeah, I
have
know.
their charts full of indicators. You can't see
Yeah.
the candlesticks behind. And yeah, so how about a typical trading day for you? How does that look? Is it something you're open to share? Do you want to maybe share a screen and walk through a trade or a past trade that you've been proud of or happy with?
Since I'm on my other PC currently, I will not be able to share my
Oh,
typical
that's cool. No worries.
screen. Yeah, my typical editor, but I will try my best to describe it as best as I can.
Yeah.
So I like to trade in early London session. I discovered that's just the time where my setups show up the most and also have the highest win rate. So yeah, I naturally get up in the morning since I'm a European citizen and I get to the charts. I like to maybe for half an hour analyze the charts and the pairs I will look at. Then I determine, okay, which pairs am I gonna look at closer? For me, I personally like to trade indices and I also like to trade the Forex majors, so the USD pairs. I have like 5 to 6 pairs where I'm looking at, and I try to determine only 1 or 2 pairs where I look deeper on any given day. For me, I have a very, very strict risk management rule. I am only allowing myself to pick one trade per day.
And you said that's always day trading, or do you sometimes hold it throughout a few days in case?
I usually try to finish. Yeah, I usually try to finish a trade within the same day, but there are some occasions where I like to hold it for a couple of days. It depends on the setup. But yeah, as I said, I try to stick to day trading for various reasons. So I am only allowed to take one trade idea per day because I see all of the guys out there being overtrading, getting their accounts messed up because they are just picking too many trades. I gotta say, I was smart enough to discover that this is also fucking up my accounts too. So I have to get a very rigid system for my trading volume, and that is one trade per day. I do way better. Maybe funding accounts and passing challenges takes me a little bit longer, but I know for myself, if I rely on my A plus setups, which don't show up for like 5 times every day. Maybe on a given trading day, they even don't show up. So I have days where I don't pick any trades. But if I see a good setup, which is 3 to 4, maybe 5 times per week, I'm confident taking that, and I'm putting all my faith into that one trade. And I will not be trading other setups in New York session because I know I could trade New York session, no doubt, but I'm doing a little bit better in early London session. And trading is all about picking the best setups you can, not picking 500 trades every month. Pick the best setups, pick the best 10 or 20 setups that you could spot for any month, and you'll be good. Don't worry if it takes a little bit longer. It will pay in the long run.
Chance of winning that trade, right? If you're more confident with it.
Exactly.
You always let the trade run until you hit your take profit or stop loss, so you're ever closing a little early.
Important point. I think it's necessary to have predetermined take profit and stop loss levels before you enter the trade, because most of the beginners aren't aware of that. But before you enter a trade, you have a clean slate. You have a clean state of mind. There's nothing at stake. You can think more clearly, more objectively compared to an important trade is running or running against your position. It will just trigger so many emotions in your mind that you will most likely not be able anymore to determine what's objective, what's subjective. You will be like, I gotta make money, I gotta cut losses, but you will not be from an objective standpoint analyzing the markets. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And that's my system, which helped me a lot, not having to determine all my levels when a trade is running, because when a trade is running, the emotions are triggered. I'm aware of that. So I try to determine everything I can upfront before I enter the market. And most of the time, I try to just set the trade and forget it afterwards.
That was going to be my next question.
Let him forget, the famous saying.
I was going to say, yeah, once you set your stop loss, your take profit, you just switch your computer off and walk away.
Exactly. Most of the time, yeah.
Try not to check it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Right?
Cool. All right, I just got a few more questions then. So how about some advice for beginners starting out? What would you suggest? I mean, I know before you were saying finding the right strategy from the right person, but how does one find their right strategy, right? Just trial and error, demo accounts, hoping for the best, or
Yeah,
you gotta have
difficult
the right
question.
mind.
I will try my best to answer that and give good advice for beginners. What would I do if I would have to
Yeah,
start out? And
reword it.
what would I like to have my mentor telling me? It's a combination of lots of things. First of all, and maybe the most important of all, I mentioned it before. Don't try to find a magic strategy. There are good strategy, and you don't have to pay thousands of euros to get a good strategy. You can even find good strategy and good approaches on YouTube. What I did for myself, I didn't like duplicate exactly an existing strategy from another guy because I realized my mind is working differently than his mind. So I just acquired as much knowledge as I can, and I had like a basic recipe for approach for my setup, but the nuances that make it profitable came from myself. So you don't have to copy one by one a strategy. Try to get a basic recipe and refine it with your personal sauce. That's gonna be your profitable approach for spotting setups. So that's the most important thing. I would also recommend get a mentor. Maybe not in the very beginning, because of course you have to gain chart time. Market hours are very, very important. You just develop a feeling and a certain sense of how are markets responding to this news event, or what does this indication mean, or what are the different cycles. There are so many small things that you just need to see it once or twice, and all of a sudden you develop a feeling for what's more likely to happen. But after a year, consider hiring a mentor, consider hiring a good consultant for your strategy. I did that too. It helped me a lot. There are good mentors out there. That's a tough part of trading as well. I think there are more trading gurus out there than actually profitable traders. So be aware. Not everything which is looking fancy on Instagram. Not everyone who is renting a Lambo one day in Dubai and posting some made up trading results will be able to teach you how to trade properly. It's kind of like finding the needle in the haystack. There are so much gurus out there. Lots of them are just making money by selling you a course or selling you their mentorship, and not because they're actually trading profitable for themselves. That's very tough in this time. So watch out for the
Yeah,
fake
what I think
gurus.
I've heard that a lot of the free courses can actually be better than the paid ones because the people who are sharing their free courses are just already made their money through trading and they're just happy to share their knowledge and help other people. So I feel
Yeah,
like there's a lot of free courses as well out there. It would be really, really helpful.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Not everything that is valuable for trading profitable has to cost lots of money. There are free resources that are as good as the paid resources. It's maybe a combination of both. So, what advice can I give in addition to
To
that?
yourself.
Don't, and that's maybe even the most important of all. I should have said that in the beginning. Set a realistic time frame and a realistic expectation for yourself. Every trader who's starting out is falling for that. They think like it's gonna roll for them in the way it gets advertised. Trading for half a year and you're almost a millionaire. Well, it's not gonna happen that way. Maybe 1 in 1,000 can do that. But most of the time it's gonna be a lot of trial and error, lots of frustrations, and eventually after 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years, you can expect yourself to be consistently profitable and trading funded accounts. So don't start out by huge funded accounts. Start trading on a demo for at least a year. Try to get consistent results on the demo account first before you consider opening a personal life account or starting to purchase a challenge for funded accounts. You can save so much money if you're not that typical greedy guy who can't wait to be funded 1 million in capital. It's just a tough road. But consider this, if you're going to decide to be a lawyer or a doctor, it's also going to take you lots of years, 5 years, 5 years plus. Even. So if you can be profitable doing trading after 3 years, it's the best choice and it's a good deal. 3 years seem long, but it's comparatively short to every other industry you can pick out there. So have a realistic time frame, have a realistic expectation, and just know that you're not gonna be a millionaire within a year. Be happy if you can earn a good amount of money, which maybe can pay your bills after 2 years of trading. And after that, trading is a almost infinitely scalable business. So start off small and go step by step. Build it up, increase your win rate, increase your funded accounts, increase your payouts. Do it step by step, but not in a fast spurt. Step by step, you get ahead.
Would your ultimate goal be to eventually shift over to your live account?
Yeah, of course. My personal approach is, it's giving me huge leverage to trade funded accounts. Yeah, that's pretty nice to have. But eventually, I'm trying to shift over the money that I get by having payouts into a personal trading account and building up my own personal account as well as a side. And I can just watch it grow and grow. And within the next years, I hope that I can only rely on my personal account and not have to rely on funded accounts as I do now. But for every beginner, it's the perfect option to have a kind of shortcut, because you can have so much leverage with a 100K account, with a 100K funded account, compared to a $5,000 personal life account.
Yeah. And then finally, I just wanted to ask, so are you trading with any other prop firms right now? You don't need to mention them.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah. So you're obviously trading with us. You've been trading us for a while. You're funded. Is there anything that sets us, ThinkCapital, apart from the rest? Anything you like about us?
Most definitely it is. Yeah. Every guy who is into prop trading knows that. You cannot trust every firm out there who is offering 100K for $200 signing up. That's a kind of a too good to be true offer, and you gotta watch out for the shady prop firms out there, and there are a lot. So I like to stick to more reputable firms. I like them to be around for a couple of years, or what I also like in the case of ThinkCapital, it's backed by a real broker. It's backed by a reputable broker. That's just giving me a clear sign that I can put my trust in here, and that I will not regret partnering up with that. Because cheap firms, you risk the chance that you're gonna get scammed and you're not gonna receive your payout. But with ThinkCapital, I don't have any ounce of doubt that I will receive my next payout. It's backed by a broker. The broker is around for I don't know how many years, long enough that you know that you can trust them. So I don't have any worries. I can recommend ThinkCapital 100% to every trader out there.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to ask. Did you have any questions for me? ThinkCapital, anything you wanted a bit more light on?
I think I'm fine from my side. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Right. Yeah, it was great. I wish you all the best in trading. Hopefully you request that payout soon. And
yeah, I can tomorrow.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Good luck trading.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for your time.
See ya.
Bye.